favorite rapper's time, your favorite movie star's time. You know what time it is. Let's get into it. We already quickly discussed it, but let's break it down. What's going on now? Back to the snippet I told you I was going to give you. Ultimately, here's what we got to discuss. I talked about a channel that was using the music and linking it, saying that they had ownership of it. Now, if they didn't have ownership of it, we could presume that it wouldn't have been listed that way, but they show ownership, which means that someone close within the situation is controlling these pages. What is the motive of these pages? What is the motive? You see, the way each person should be pushed, they should have their own page along with their own marketing techniques. Whose device is this to do this? Well, shouldn't a manager have created pages for these artists? See, here's the thing. Their music should get posted on that XxxTentacion channel. I agree. But each artist should have their own channel that's thriving, that's building. Not just their own social medias, but they need fan pages. Not only do they need fan pages, but we need to figure out some financial basis in which these guys' music is being pushed. I don't just mean the features that are on the XxxTentacion thing that happened with the mixtape, but I mean something greater in the scheme. I want to see albums pending for each of these artists. Okay? And they need to be doing singles on their own. Listen, I have no qualms with the fact that these artists want to be featured on the Members Only Volume 4 we saw, but they need their own push. So they have basis for their own money, their own sponsorships, their own artistry being exemplary and seen in that very light. That's my problem. That's my issue. That's the basis of what I'm trying to say. Now, yesterday I gave you a breakdown. See, the snippet, even though it's a snippet, it was a snippet of the method. So if you missed that, check it out. It's a snippet of the methodology in which these artists should be pushed. But now I'm telling you, they need their own fan pages and things because they need their own fan base. As they enter into the market, there's going to be times where the money that comes off the music won't be very strong. So in the same way, they need to be placed in a position to have sponsorships given to them. Sponsorships are so important. I can tell you that now. As a YouTuber especially, we need sponsorships. That's what's happening. That it's harder to do it as a YouTuber who, when your subscribers aren't a certain number, but at the same time, they need the push as well as I do, in the same sense that they need the ability to be able to sponsor items, sponsor just different brands. Branding's everything. These artists should not be branded under an umbrella. That's not what you want. Umbrella branding is one of the worst, especially when you are talented, because what it does is it shades out what you actually have to bring to the game, and people don't want to hear you do music unless you're with certain people. That's my problem. These guys need to be placed out there heavier. They need to be branded not only as XxXTentacion's group, but as who they are. That's what needs to be understood. Now, I've seen the social media channels. Listen, they can have as many people on their social media, but the same thing as anyone who's doing affiliate marketing or any type of marketing that they're shipping something, selling something, you need to be able to figure out who would actually purchase and do interaction with anything it is that you have to place out there. This is a strong concept that a lot of people miss. But here's the thing. Rap artists are entrepreneurs. Whether you're an entrepreneur for your talent or an entrepreneur for some type of item, you're an entrepreneur nonetheless. So you have to work it in entrepreneurship. That's what I'm trying to teach. Listen, you guys can say whatever you want. If I was branding an artist and moving them a certain way, and I had some type of payment I had to move them with, I'd succeed in it. Because it's about the marketing way and knowing how to market. I'd be able to run traffic to their websites. I'd be able to tell them and show them exactly what they need to do to be out there. That's the difference than a lot of management. A lot of management links up with just a bunch of people. You need a small knit team that has a powerful understanding overall, and not just knowing people, even though knowing people is part of it, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to know who's skilled at what. You can't just have people around that's done successful for other artists. Yes, they can lead you the way, You need to learn to take tips so you can build your own platform and foundation to do this. I feel that the way the marketing is going, it's not allowing for these other artists to build any type of sponsorship or marketing that can help them to empower the growth. That's the goal, empowering growth. And empowering growth is a team unit. It's a team game. The same way music works, it's a team thing. So that's what I'm trying to say. Perception is everything. The way someone's put out there is everything. Listen, I built this channel up from nothing. I had 0 subscribers. Whereas other people built the channel off of association. I haven't even built off of association yet. Yes, I mentioned things, but I haven't built off of association. Now, I know where to place money at in order to get the shout outs that are needed when they're needed. And that's part of knowing how to spend your money to get the biggest bang for your buck. I learned that from the objective mogul that I watched. I learned the way that he branded, the way he built. He did things. He didn't even need others to do it. And that's part of the synonymous factor that I took on, where I didn't need a bunch of other people to do it. And I'm still learning. I'm young. I'm still learning. But that's the thing. I got to learn from those around me who succeed at it. Setting up things, getting things going. I plan to set up somewhere that I'm able to do it from, where I'm able to have consistent stories uploading. That's the goal. But until you get to that goal, you got to work with what you have the best you can as you have it. That's the key. And the thing is, when an artist is placed in a position where they have to work a certain way or do things a certain way that's obscure, it has to still be within the same foundation of that which is someone succeeded at. See, the worst factor is attempting to pioneer something. You have to learn from those around you who succeed to do things. XxxTentacion's the perfect example how to succeed as an artist. I don't care who says they took credit for what they do. You could take credit for what a lot of people do. But the ultimate factor is that if you don't have things set up in a way where everyone's able to succeed in it, get air. Where to get?
No, where get air. It's a bouncy.
Oh, the only trampoline place I know is somewhere over there on that corner, used to be, and it's across the river. I don't know any local one that much. Oh, then I would try over there first, because I think there's a trampoline place on the corner over there, or to the right of that. No problem. So being able to market yourself and being able to position things where you're able to put things together in a successful way, that's the most important factor. You have to understand how these things interact with your career. You got to have knowledge of how things work. You got to have these things intact. If you don't have these things intact, what I told you yesterday won't matter. So if you can make a hit single, but you can't make a hit album, you need to have that solo productivity. So when the deals and sponsorships come, you have very few people to hand money to. Listen, it's not always about how much you make, but how much you make of it being surrounding your own talents. You have to have a set unit of people you pay to and a set unit of people you interact with to succeed. This is very much so. And an indicative factor of why XxTentacion landed in the place he did is because he knew how to market himself. He knew who to market to. He knew why he was doing what he was doing. Even if he didn't have perfect songs every time, it was around about the median of hitting a target because the way he perceived and looked at music. You have to learn that some of you can't rap about what everyone else does. You have to come with your own vibe, your own standards. And that's why some rappers who people don't perceive as great are able to market their music, because even if they're in a category of trash, they'll argue they're the greatest at doing what they do. You have to be a landmark. And trust me, they didn't do it overnight. No one's overnight with it unless they have something else going on. But that's just the thing. You have to understand how it is that you develop yourself as an artist. And you're not looking at every time. You should have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. You shouldn't just be looking at the now when you're developing a career, because a career is going to keep money in your pocket off of your name. A legacy is going to keep money and worth over your name as you develop the money in your pocket. The things you do throughout your career are going to define who you are in the end. That's the difference. And that's why I said what I said yesterday. So yes, that's just a snippet of it. But these are the last factors you got to understand when you're an artist. You're an entrepreneur. You have to act as such. Your brand, you have to treat it as such. You can't say and do reckless things. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.